I think that every day everyone should find, or as often as you can, everyone should find time to go outside and stare at something, right? And not just stare at something, but stare at something that isn't in like constant movement, like your eyes don't have to wander to keep track of whatever it is that you're looking at. Obviously be discreet in it, like don't just go out and start like staring at people because you you just never know what type of time people on, and you don't want to see a bad day. But I was thinking more so like nature, maybe something on a building, maybe a sign. Just go outside, find something that can't really like move out of place and stare at it for like 10-15 minutes. I would say about 10 minutes, especially something in nature. The reason why I'm saying this is because, have you ever been in a scenario where, like, let's say you were daydreaming, or maybe you were just like kind of zoning out and you stared at something and you started to notice that that said thing was like changing shape, or it was moving, or it was doing something outside of the norm of what it would naturally do if you were just to casually glance at it. And usually, when that happens, you think that your imagination just ran wild and you kind of imagined something that wasn't necessarily there. But I want to challenge that. I don't think that every time we see something in the world that is abnormal, or that is outside of the natural way in which we usually see it, I don't think it's always just our imagination. I do believe that there are certain times where you might come across something, or you might see something that you can't really explain, but you saw it, and it wasn't just in your head, like you actually saw it. And the reason why I advocate to go outside, and especially outside, you don't want to do this inside, you want to go outside in nature, in the world, in the environment, and stare at something for like 10 minutes, because it trains your brain to focus, and it slows down the synapses and like all the freaking just waves that we get just by looking at our phones and being on the computers and everything that's just moving so quick at such a fast pace. That's why a lot of my videos, I don't have like too many cuts in them. Like I usually focus on one particular thing. So if you are watching these videos, it kind of helps you slow down and like meditate on that said object or whatever it is that you're looking at. And you never know, like honestly, I do believe that what we see in the world just by first glance is not entirely what it is. So when you go outside and you look at a tree, or you look at a stop sign, yeah, by first glance it just seems to be a tree or a stop sign, but if you stare at it long enough, I do believe that the elements in the world start to reveal themselves to you in a different way, because you're actually paying attention and focusing on that item or that object or whatever it is. And I think there's beauty in it as well. I mean, obviously we do have imagination, and there are things that we do imagine that we didn't necessarily actually see. But I don't know, I just believe that it might be more so you saw it rather than it just being in your head, right? And then that actually goes to an even deeper point. If you imagine something, does it mean that it didn't exist, or that it's not real? I think there was a Harry Potter quote in a movie where Harry Potter was like to Dumbledore, he was like, is this all in my head or something? And then Dumbledore was like, of course it is, but why does that mean it's not real, or something like that? So yeah, I don't know, I was just thinking about it, and I would really advocate that you go outside and just sit down, take a deep breath, and just find something to fixate your eyes on, and then just stare at it for like 10 minutes. And what you see, or what comes into your mind or what comes into your spirit or how Yah will reveal something to you, you just never know. But it just starts with not being so like frazzled, like your eyes just going every which direction, your brain just going crazy. Like slow it down a little bit and focus on something, observe something, and it might reveal something to you that you wouldn't have seen or gathered in any other setting because you decided to slow down.